She bandaged a stranger's wounds, not knowing he was a mafia boss. What she thought was a simple act of kindness became a binding contract she never agreed to. Now his entire army calls her their queen, and she's drowning in lies she can't escape. One signature, one mistake, a love that could cost her everything. If you're new here, subscribe and comment your location. Now let's begin. Cassidy Brooks was having the worst day of her career, which was saying something because her career was already pretty terrible. She was an actress on a medical drama called Hearts and Scalpels, and today she'd been fired. Well, not fired exactly. Her character, Nurse Amy, had been written off the show, killed by a rare disease in episode 12, a disease that Cassidy was pretty sure the writers had just made up. At least learn some real medical terms, she muttered to herself as she walked back to the set to collect her things. It was 10 at night, and the studio lot was empty except for security guards and a few crew members packing up equipment. She pushed open the door to the fake hospital room where they filmed most of her scenes. The lights were still on. Medical equipment that didn't actually work lined the walls. Fake medicine bottles, prop syringes, a crash cart that was just a painted box on wheels. Cassidy grabbed her bag from behind the nurse's station and sighed. 4 years of drama school for this. 4 years of learning method acting and voice projection and emotional memory. And all she'd done was hand fake doctors' fake clipboards while wearing scrubs that were 3 sizes too big. She was about to leave when she heard it, a crash from outside, then footsteps, heavy, stumbling footsteps. The door burst open. A man fell through it. Not walked, fell. He hit the floor hard, gasping, his hand pressed against his side. Blood seeped through his fingers, real blood, the kind that didn't come from the makeup department. "Help," he managed. His voice was rough, strained. "Please." Cassidy dropped her bag. Her brain went completely blank. This was real. This was actually happening. There was a bleeding man on the floor of a fake hospital, and she was the only person here. "Oh my God," she said. "Oh my God, okay, The man looked up at her. Even bleeding and pale, he was striking. Dark hair, sharp jaw, eyes that looked like they could cut through steel. He was wearing an expensive suit that was now ruined with blood. "You're a nurse," he said. It wasn't a question. He was looking at her scrubs, the ones she was still wearing because she'd been too upset to change. Cassidy started. "Please," he said again. "I'll pay anything, just stop the bleeding." And here's the thing about Cassidy. She was a terrible actress, but she was excellent at panicking and then pretending she wasn't panicking. It was basically her only skill. "Right," she said. "Yes, of course, let me see." She knelt beside him. Her hands were shaking. She carefully moved his hand away from his side and saw the wound. A deep gash across his ribs. Something sharp had cut him, not a gunshot, maybe a knife. "Don't freak out," she thought. "You've seen the actors do this 100 times. Just do what they do." "Okay," she said, trying to sound calm. "You're going to be fine. I need to clean this and bandage it." She stood up and grabbed supplies from the prop cart. Gauze, bandages. There was actually real antiseptic in here because one of the actors had once gotten a paper cut and demanded it. Cassidy sent a mental thank you to that actor's diva behavior. She came back to the man and started working. Her hands remembered the movements from rehearsals. Press the gauze against the wound. Apply pressure. Clean around the edges. Wrap the bandage tight. "You're good at this," the man said. He was watching her face. "I've done it before," Cassidy said, which was true. She'd done it dozens of times, in scenes, with fake blood and stunt coordinators standing by. "What's your name?" he asked. Cassidy Brooks." "I'm Victor," he said. "Victor Romanov." That name should have meant something to her, but Cassidy didn't watch the news, didn't read the paper. She spent most of her time learning scripts and going to auditions. "Nice to meet you," she said automatically, then realized how ridiculous that sounded. "Sorry, that was weird, I'm just nervous." "Don't be nervous," Victor said. His voice was getting stronger. "You're saving my life." Cassidy tied off the bandage. Her hands were covered in his blood. Her scrubs were too. And that's when she noticed her name tag was missing. It must have fallen off earlier. "Do you have a pen?" Victor asked. "What?" "A pen. I want to remember your name. Write it down." Cassidy looked around and found a marker on the prop cart. She handed it to him. He took her hand, turned it over, and wrote something on his own palm. Then he looked at her expectantly. "Oh," she said, "you want me to sign?" He nodded. He was smiling now despite the pain. There was something intense in his eyes, something that made Cassidy's stomach flip. She took the marker and, without thinking, wrote her name on the collar of his shirt, right above where the blood had soaked through. Her handwriting was messy and smudged, but readable. "Cassidy Brooks." "There," she said, "but you really should go to a real hospital. I've done what I can, but—" "No hospitals," Victor said firmly. "They ask questions." That should have been a red flag, a huge, waving neon red flag, but Cassidy's brain was still in emergency mode. "Okay," she said, "but you need to rest and change that bandage in a few hours, and if it gets infected—" "I'll come find you," Victor said. 2 men appeared in the doorway. They were large, wearing dark suits, and they looked very serious. One of them saw Victor and rushed over. "Boss," he said, "we've been looking everywhere. Are you—" He stopped when he saw the bandage. "Who did this?" "She did," Victor said, nodding at Cassidy. "She saved my life." The 2 men looked at Cassidy like she'd just performed a miracle. Like she'd brought someone back from the dead instead of just wrapping some gauze around a cut. "Thank you," the first man said. "We are in your debt." They helped Victor to his feet. He swayed slightly but stayed upright. Before they left, he turned back to Cassidy. "I won't forget this," he said. "I'll see you again, Cassidy Brooks." Then they were gone. Cassidy stood alone in the fake hospital room, covered in blood, holding a marker, wondering what the hell had just happened. She went home, she showered. She tried to sleep but couldn't. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Victor's face. Those intense eyes, that dangerous smile. The next morning, Cassidy woke up to noise outside. Lots of noise. Car doors slamming. Voices. She stumbled to her window and looked out. Her street was full of black cars. Expensive ones. SUVs and sedans all parked in a perfect line. And standing on her lawn in her driveway on the sidewalk were men. Dozens of men, maybe 100, all wearing dark suits, all standing perfectly still. "What the hell?" Cassidy whispered. She threw on clothes and ran downstairs. Her neighbors were peeking out their windows. Mrs. Chen from next door was on her phone, probably calling the police. Cassidy opened her front door. Every single man turned to look at her. Then, in unison, they bowed. "Good morning, Signora," they said together. Cassidy's brain short-circuited. "I'm sorry, what?" One man stepped forward. He was older than the others, with gray at his temples and a kind face. "I am Dimitri," he said. "The boss has sent us to escort you to his home. He wishes to thank you properly for saving his life." "Oh," Cassidy said. "That's really not necessary. I was just helping. Anyone would have." "The boss insists," Dimitri said. "He also wishes to discuss your permanent position as his personal physician." "My what?" "We have prepared a car for you," Dimitri continued, gesturing to a black limousine. "Your salary will be very generous. You will have your own quarters in the estate. The boss requires someone with your skills nearby at all times." Cassidy's mouth opened and closed like a fish. "I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm not actually." "The boss is waiting," Dimitri said gently. "Please, we don't want to keep him waiting." The way he said it made Cassidy think that keeping Victor waiting was a very bad idea. She looked at all the men, all the cars, all the neighbors watching. "Can I just grab my purse?" she asked weakly. "Of course, Signora." 20 minutes later, Cassidy was sitting in the back of a limousine, driving through the city, surrounded by an escort of vehicles that looked like a presidential motorcade. Dimitri sat across from her, smiling pleasantly. "So," Cassidy said, "Victor, he's your boss." "Yes, Signora." "And what exactly does he do?" Dimitri's smile didn't change. He manages various business interests. Right, and these business interests require a lot of security. The boss has many enemies, Dmitri said. People who would hurt him if they could. That's why we were so grateful when you saved his life last night. The boss is very important to us, to all of us. Cassidy felt cold. When you say enemies. We're here, Dmitri announced. The car pulled through enormous iron gates and up a long driveway. At the end of it was a mansion, not a house, a mansion. 3 stories of white stone and glass windows, surrounded by gardens and fountains. This is where Victor lives, Cassidy asked. This is one of his homes, Dmitri said. He has others. Of course he does, Cassidy thought. They led her inside. The entrance hall had marble floors and a chandelier that probably cost more than Cassidy had made in her entire life. Paintings lined the walls, real ones, not prints. The boss is in his study, Dmitri said. Please follow me. They walked down a long hallway. Cassidy's sneakers squeaked on the marble. She was very aware that she was wearing jeans and a t-shirt that said, I'd rather be acting while surrounded by men in $1,000 suits. Dmitri knocked on a large wooden door. Come in, Victor's voice called. Dmitri opened the door and gestured for Cassidy to enter. She did. The door closed behind her. Victor was standing by the window. He was wearing a fresh suit, perfectly tailored. The blood-stained one from last night was gone. He turned when she entered and smiled. Cassidy, he said, you came. Did I have a choice? She asked before she could stop herself. Victor's smile widened. Always so direct, I like that. Please sit. He gestured to a leather chair. Cassidy sat. Victor sat across from her, wincing slightly as he moved. How's your side? Cassidy asked. Much better, thanks to you. I changed the bandage this morning. Your work was excellent. The wound is already starting to heal. Good, Cassidy said. That's good. Look, Victor, about this whole personal physician thing. I know what you're going to say, Victor interrupted. You're going to say that it's too much, that you were just doing your job. But Cassidy, you saved my life. In my world, that creates a bond, a debt. I want to repay that debt by offering you a position here, with me. I appreciate that, Cassidy said carefully. But I'm not sure I'm the right person for this job. I'm actually. Too modest, Victor said. You're too modest. It's one of your best qualities. But I saw how you worked last night. Calm under pressure. Skilled hands. You didn't hesitate. You didn't panic. You just did what needed to be done. That's exactly the kind of person I need. Cassidy opened her mouth to tell him the truth. That she wasn't calm, she was terrified. That her hands were only skilled at pretending. That she'd learned everything from watching actors on a TV show. But Victor was looking at her like she was the most important person in the world. Like she was a hero. And Cassidy, who had been fired from her terrible TV show and whose career was in shambles, felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Wanted. What exactly would this job involve? She heard herself ask. You would live here, Victor said. In the guest house. It's very nice, completely private. You would be available when I need medical attention. Beyond that, your time is your own. I'll pay you $10,000 a week. Cassidy choked. $10,000? Is that not enough? I can go higher. No, that's a lot of money. You're worth it, Victor said simply. So, will you accept? This is insane, Cassidy thought. You have to tell him the truth. You have to tell him you're not a real nurse, that you'll have no idea what you're doing, that someone could get hurt. But $10,000 a week. For how long? A month. That would be $40,000, enough to pay off her student loans, enough to take real acting classes, enough to survive while she figured out her life. Can I think about it? Cassidy asked. Victor's expression shifted. For just a second, he looked disappointed. Then the smile returned. Of course, he said. Take all the time you need. Dmitri will drive you home. But Cassidy, I hope you'll say yes. I think this could be the beginning of something wonderful. The way he said, something wonderful, made Cassidy's heart race. She stood up to leave. Victor stood too, and that's when she noticed something. On his desk, under a paperweight, was his shirt from last night, the blood-stained one. Her name was still visible on the collar, written in black marker. "You kept it?" she asked. Victor glanced at the shirt. "Of course, it's important." "Why?" He looked at her with those intense eyes. "Because you signed it. In my family, when someone saves your life and marks your clothing with their name, it means something. It's a bond. It's sacred." "Oh," Cassidy said. She had no idea what he was talking about, but it sounded serious. "I'll see you soon, Cassidy Brooks," Victor said. Dimitri drove her home. The 100 men were gone. The street looked normal. Cassidy went inside, locked the door, and immediately pulled out her phone. She Googled Viktor Romanov. The search results made her stomach drop. Viktor Romanov, Russian-born crime boss, head of the Romanov family organization. Suspected involvement in everything from arms dealing to money laundering. Wanted in 3 countries. Considered extremely dangerous. There was a picture. It was definitely him. "Oh no," Cassidy whispered. "Oh no, oh no, oh no." She'd saved a mafia boss, an actual mafia boss, and now he wanted her to be his personal doctor, and she wasn't even a real nurse. She needed to tell him the truth. She needed to call him right now and explain that this was all a huge mistake. But when she looked at the website for the studio where she'd worked, she saw they'd already listed her replacement for hearts and scalpels. Some younger actress with better hair. Cassidy's face wasn't even on the cast page anymore. $10,000 a week. She looked at her bank account. $243. Her phone rang. Unknown number, she answered. "Cassidy," it was Victor's voice. "I forgot to give you my number. I'm texting it to you now. Call me anytime, day or night, for anything." "Victor, I need to tell you something." "I know what you're going to say," he interrupted again. "You're going to say you're not qualified, but I've asked around. I have people who look into things, and I know you worked at St. Mary's Hospital for 5 years before your current position. That's an impressive record." Cassidy's blood ran cold. St. Mary's Hospital was the name of the fictional hospital on her TV show. He'd looked her up and somehow gotten her TV credits confused with a real resume. "That's not exactly," she started. "I'll let you go," Victor said. "But Cassidy, thank you again for everything, I mean that." He hung up. Cassidy sat on her couch and stared at the wall. This was a disaster, a complete disaster. She was lying to a mafia boss, a man who killed people for a living. What would he do when he found out the truth? But maybe he wouldn't find out. Maybe she could just avoid him, turn down the job, move to another city, change her name. Her phone buzzed, a text from Victor. "I'm having dinner tomorrow night. I would love if you joined me, not as my employee, as my guest. Say yes." Cassidy stared at the message. This was her chance to say no, to end this before it got worse. She typed, "What time?" His response was immediate. 7, I'll send a car." Cassidy threw her phone across the room and screamed into a pillow. She spent the rest of the day Googling basic medical information. How to check vital signs, how to recognize infection, how to stop bleeding. She watched YouTube videos made by actual nurses. She took notes. She felt like she was cramming for a test that could literally get someone killed. The next evening, a car arrived at exactly 7. Not Dimitri this time, but a younger man who introduced himself as Alexei. He drove her back to Victor's mansion. Victor met her at the door himself. He was wearing dark slacks and a white shirt, sleeves rolled up. Casual, but somehow more attractive than the suit. "You look beautiful," he said. Cassidy looked down at her dress. It was the nicest thing she owned, a simple black dress she'd worn to her grandmother's funeral 3 years ago. "Thank you," she said. He led her through the mansion to a private dining room. The table was set for 2, with candles and wine and food that smelled incredible. "I wasn't sure what you liked," Victor said, "so I had the chef prepare several options." Several options turned out to be 7 different dishes. Pasta, steak. Fish, salad, roasted vegetables, fresh bread, and some kind of chocolate dessert that made Cassidy's mouth water. They sat down. Victor poured wine. "To new beginnings," he said, raising his glass. Cassidy clinked her glass against his. "To new beginnings." The wine was good, really good. Cassidy wasn't a wine person, but even she could tell this was expensive. "So," Victor said, "tell me about yourself. I know you're a nurse, but what else? What do you do for fun?" This was dangerous territory. "I used to act," Cassidy said carefully. "Community theater, that kind of thing." Victor's eyes lit up. "You're an actress. That's wonderful. I love the theater. What kind of roles?" "Mostly small parts," Cassidy said, which was true. On the TV show, she'd barely had any lines. "I'd love to see you perform sometime," Victor said. "Maybe," Cassidy said. "What about you? What do you do when you're not managing business interests?" Victor smiled. He knew she was being polite about his criminal empire. "I read. I collect art. I spend time with people I care about." "Do you have family?" Cassidy asked. His expression darkened. "Not anymore. My father died when I was young. My mother passed 5 years ago. I have cousins, but we're not close." He paused. "It's lonely sometimes, being at the top. Everyone wants something from you. No one just wants you." There was real pain in his voice, real loneliness. Cassidy felt her chest tighten. "I'm sorry," she said. "Don't be," Victor said. "I chose this life. But that's why meeting you meant so much to me. You didn't know who I was, you didn't care. You just saw someone who needed help and you helped. No questions, no demands, just kindness." Cassidy felt like the worst person in the world. She was lying to him, taking advantage of his gratitude, pretending to be someone she wasn't. "Victor," she said, "there's something I need to tell you." "Yes," he leaned forward. "I'm not." The door burst open. 3 men rushed in. They were bloody, panicked. One of them was holding his arm at a strange angle. "Boss," the first one said, "we need the doctor now." Victor stood immediately. He looked at Cassidy. "Can you help them?" Every part of Cassidy's brain screamed at her to say no, to run, to tell the truth. But the injured man was swaying on his feet. His face was pale. He was going to pass out. "Bring him to the kitchen," Cassidy heard herself say. "I need light and space to work." They carried the injured man to the kitchen. Cassidy's hands were shaking as she washed them in the sink. The man's arm was definitely broken. She could see the bone pushing against the skin. Not through it, thank God, but close. "What happened?" she asked, trying to sound professional. "Ambush," one of the other men said. "The Kozlov family, they hit us on the east side." Cassidy had no idea who the Kozlov family was, but she nodded like she understood. She turned to Victor. "I need ice, clean towels, and something to use as a splint. Wooden spoons, rulers, anything straight and sturdy." Victor started grabbing things from drawers. Cassidy gently touched the injured man's arm. He hissed in pain. "I know," she said. "I'm sorry, what's your name?" "Yuri," he managed. "Okay, Yuri. I'm going to set this, but it's going to hurt. A lot. Do you want something to bite down on?" Yuri nodded. Victor handed him a leather belt. Yuri put it between his teeth. Cassidy had watched this scene a dozen times on her show. Dr. Montgomery had set a broken arm in Season 2, Episode 8. She'd stood right next to him, handing him props, watching every movement. "Please let me remember this right," she thought. She took a deep breath and felt along Yuri's arm, found the break point. Then, as gently as she could, she pulled and rotated. Yuri screamed into the belt. The bone shifted back into place with a sound that made Cassidy want to throw up. But she didn't. She kept working, packed ice around the arm, used the wooden spoons and towels to create a makeshift splint, wrapped everything tight with medical tape that someone had found in a first aid kit. When she was done, Yuri was crying, but the arm was straight, stable. "You need to go to a hospital," Cassidy said. "Get this x-rayed properly. Make sure I didn't miss anything." "She's right," Victor said to Yuri. "Alexei will take you to the private clinic. Tell them I sent you." They helped Yuri out. The other injured men had minor cuts. Cassidy cleaned and bandaged them quickly. By the time she was done, her dress was ruined and she was exhausted. The kitchen cleared out. It was just her and Victor. "You were amazing," he said. Cassidy slumped against the counter. "I was terrified." "You didn't show it. Yuri will remember this for the rest of his life. You saved his arm. Maybe saved his life. He would have gone into shock if you hadn't acted so quickly." "I just did what I could," Cassidy said. Victor stepped closer. He was looking at her like she was something precious, something rare. "You're incredible," he said softly. "Do you know that?" Cassidy's heart was pounding. He was standing so close she could smell his cologne, something expensive and woodsy. "I should go," she whispered. "It's late." "Stay," Victor said. "Not for work, just stay. Talk to me. I like talking to you." This was such a bad idea. Such a terrible, horrible, dangerous idea. "Okay," Cassidy said. "I'll stay." They went back to the dining room. The food was cold now, but neither of them cared. They sat and talked for hours. Victor told her about growing up in Moscow, about coming to America when he was 16, about building his empire from nothing. He didn't talk about the violence, the crime, the illegal parts, but Cassidy could read between the lines. This was a man who had done terrible things to survive, to succeed. But when he talked about his mother, his voice got soft. When he talked about the men who worked for him, he called them family. When he talked about the city, he talked about protecting it from worse criminals than himself. "I know what you must think of me," Victor said eventually. "I know what I am, but I try to be fair, to take care of the people who depend on me, to have honor in a world without much honor." "I don't think you're a bad person," Cassidy said, and she meant it, which was confusing because he definitely did bad things. "You're the first person to say that in a long time," Victor said. It was 2 a.m. when Alexei finally drove Cassidy home. She was exhausted, emotionally drained, but also strangely happy. She was falling for Viktor Romanov, a mafia boss, a criminal, a man who would definitely kill her if he knew she was lying. The next few weeks fell into a strange pattern. Victor would call with some medical emergency, a cut that needed stitches, a possible concussion, a sprained ankle. Cassidy would show up, heart pounding, and somehow fake her way through it. She spent every free moment studying medical websites, nursing forums. She bought textbooks and read them cover to cover. She practiced on herself, learning to take blood pressure, check reflexes, recognize symptoms. And between the emergencies, there were dinners, long conversations, walks through Victor's garden, movies in his private theater. He was courting her, old-fashioned style, and Cassidy was too far gone to resist. "I need to tell you something," she said one night. They were sitting on his balcony, looking at the city lights. "What is it?" Victor asked. "I'm not," she stopped. "How did you tell someone this? I'm not the person you think I am." Victor turned to face her. "What do you mean?" "I mean, I'm not this amazing, confident doctor. I'm scared all the time. Every time you call, I panic. I'm terrified I'm going to make a mistake and hurt someone." "That just means you care," Victor said. "That you take it seriously. That's what makes you good at this." "But what if I'm not good at it? What if I'm just lucky?" Victor took her hand. His fingers were warm, calloused. "Cassidy, I've seen real doctors, trained professionals, and none of them care the way you do. None of them work as hard. You sit with injured men and hold their hands. You remember their names. You call to check on them after. That's not luck. That's who you are." Cassidy felt tears in her eyes. He was making her into a hero when she was just a liar. "I should go," she said, pulling away. "Wait," Victor said. "Did I say something wrong?" "No, I just need to think." She left before he could stop her, called a car herself instead of asking for Alexei. She needed space, distance. She needed to figure out what to do. But the next morning, everything changed. Cassidy woke up to pounding on her door. She stumbled downstairs, still in her pajamas, and opened it. Dmitri was there. His face was pale. "Signora," he said, "please come quickly. It's the boss." Cassidy's blood turned to ice. "What happened?" "He's sick. Very sick. The clinic doctors can't figure out what's wrong. He's asking for you." Cassidy grabbed her purse and followed Dimitri to the car. Her mind was racing. Sick how? Fever, infection, internal bleeding. She didn't know how to diagnose mysterious illnesses that required years of medical school, lab tests, equipment she didn't have. They drove way too fast through the city. When they arrived at the mansion, men were standing outside looking worried. Inside was chaos, people running, shouting, someone crying. Dimitri led her upstairs to Victor's bedroom. She'd never been here before. It was large, dark, masculine, and in the bed was Victor. He looked terrible. His skin was gray, sweat soaked his hair, he was shaking. "Cassidy," he whispered when he saw her, "you came." She rushed to his side, put her hand on his forehead. He was burning up. "How long has he been like this?" she asked. "Since last night," Dimitri said. "He called the clinic. They sent 2 doctors. They gave him medicine, but nothing worked. He sent them away and asked for you." Cassidy's hands were shaking. This was real. This was serious. She couldn't fake her way through this. "Victor," she said, "I need to tell you something. I need to tell you the truth." "Later," he mumbled. "Help me first, please." She wanted to scream, to run, to call a real doctor, but everyone was looking at her, waiting for her to save him. "Tell me his symptoms," she said to Dimitri. "Everything. When did this start? What did he eat? Where did he go?" Dimitri listed everything. The timeline didn't make sense for food poisoning, too fast for the flu. The fever was too high for a normal infection. Cassidy looked around the room, searched for clues like she was in a medical detective show. She saw Victor's suit from yesterday draped over a chair. There was a small tear in the sleeve. "Did something cut him yesterday?" she asked. "There was a meeting," Dimitri said carefully. "With another family, things got tense. Someone may have had a blade." Cassidy grabbed the suit, found the tear. Then she gently rolled up Victor's sleeve. There, a small cut, barely visible, but the skin around it was red, inflamed, swollen. "This is infected," Cassidy said. "Badly infected. The infection is spreading into his bloodstream. That's why he has a fever." She'd seen this on her show. Season 3, Episode 4, a minor cut that turned into sepsis. It had almost killed the character. "He needs antibiotics," Cassidy said. "Strong ones, and he needs them now." "We have antibiotics," Dimitri said. "The clinic sent some, but which ones?" Cassidy pulled out her phone, Googled sepsis treatment antibiotics with shaking hands, found a medical website, read as fast as she could. "Vancomycin and piperacillin tazobactam," she said, reading off the screen. "Those are the first-line treatments. Do you have those?" Dimitri made a phone call, spoke in rapid Russian, hung up. "We're getting them now," he said. 20 minutes. "We might not have 20 minutes, Cassidy said. She could hear Victor's breathing. It was too fast, shallow. His body was fighting the infection and losing. She grabbed towels from his bathroom, soaked them in cold water, packed them around Victor's body to bring down the fever. She elevated his legs to help his blood pressure. She talked to him, kept him conscious, made him drink water. The antibiotics arrived. A doctor from the clinic delivered them personally. He looked at Cassidy like she was crazy when she demanded he show her how to administer them properly. But he did. Showed her the IV line, the correct dosage, how to monitor for allergic reactions. Cassidy set up the IV with shaking hands. She'd watched the actors do this 100 times but never done it herself. The needle had to go into the vein. Miss, and you could cause serious damage. "Please work," she whispered. "Please, please work." The needle slid in. Blood flashed back. She was in. She connected the antibiotic drip and started it flowing. Then she sat beside Victor's bed and held his hand and prayed to every god she could think of. Hours passed. The fever started to drop. Victor's breathing steadied. The color came back to his face. By evening, he was sleeping peacefully. The crisis was over. Cassidy slumped in her chair. She was exhausted, emotionally destroyed. She'd come so close to losing him, and it would have been her fault, all her fault for lying. Dimitri brought her tea. You saved him again, he said quietly. The doctors from the clinic, they missed the infection. They were treating him for the flu. If you hadn't come, if you hadn't looked closer. He didn't finish. Didn't need to. I got lucky, Cassidy said. No, Dimitri said. You're brilliant, the boss chose well. Cassidy wanted to scream that it wasn't brilliance. It was Google. It was panic. It was pure dumb luck. But Dimitri left before she could say anything. Victor woke up around midnight. Cassidy had fallen asleep in the chair beside his bed. She jerked awake when she heard him move. Hey, he said. His voice was weak but clear. You're still here. Of course I'm still here, Cassidy said. How do you feel? Like I got hit by a truck, but alive, thanks to you. Victor, we need to talk. I know, he said. You tried to tell me something earlier, before I got sick. This was it, the moment. She had to tell him the truth. I'm not a real nurse, Cassidy said. The words came out in a rush. I'm an actress. I was on a TV show about doctors, but I'm not actually qualified for any of this. I just Google things and hope I get lucky. The night we met, I was on a set, a fake hospital. Everything I've done for you, for your men, it's all been fake. I've been lying to you this whole time, and I'm so sorry. She was crying now, couldn't stop. All the fear and guilt and stress of the past weeks came pouring out. Victor was quiet for a long moment. Then he started laughing. Cassidy looked up, shocked. Why are you laughing? Because I know, Victor said. I've known for 2 weeks. Cassidy's brain short-circuited. What? I had you investigated, Victor said. Standard procedure for anyone who gets close to me. My people found out about the TV show, about your acting career, about everything. But you didn't say anything, Cassidy whispered. Because I realized something, Victor said. It doesn't matter. You saved my life with fake knowledge and luck. You set Yuri's arm by remembering a TV show. You figured out my infection by looking for clues and using your phone. A real doctor with years of training missed it, but you didn't. Do you know why? Cassidy shook her head. Because you care, because you try, because you don't give up. Those things matter more than a degree. He reached for her hand. And because I'm in love with you. Cassidy's heart stopped. What? I'm in love with you, Cassidy Brooks. I have been since the night you saved me. I don't care that you're not a real nurse. I care that you're smart and brave and kind. I care that you make me laugh, that you argue with me when I'm wrong, that you look at me like I'm just a man, not a boss or a criminal or a monster. You're not a monster, Cassidy said. I've done monstrous things, Victor said. But with you, I feel like I could be better, like I could be the man you see when you look at me. Cassidy was still crying, but now it was for different reasons. I love you too, she said. Even though you're a criminal, even though this is insane, even though I should run away and never look back, I love you. Victor pulled her closer, kissed her. It was gentle at first, then deeper, desperate, like they were both drowning and this was their only air. When they finally broke apart, Cassidy was breathless. So what happens now? She asked. Now you stay, Victor said. Not as my employee, as my partner, my equal. We'll figure out the rest together. The Mafia has partners, Cassidy asked. This one does, Victor said. Besides, my men already call you Signora. Do you know what that means? Your doctor. Victor smiled. My wife. Cassidy blinked. I'm sorry, what? When you signed your name on my shirt that first night. In my culture, that's a binding agreement, a blood oath. You marked me as yours and I accepted it. In the eyes of my family, we've been married since that moment. Cassidy's mouth fell open. That's what you meant about it being sacred. Yes. And you've just been letting me think I was your doctor this whole time. I was working up to telling you, Victor said. But then I found out you were lying about being a nurse, and I figured we both had secrets we were keeping. Cassidy started laughing. She couldn't help it. This was the most ridiculous situation in the world. So let me get this straight, she said. I accidentally married a Mafia boss because I signed his shirt. Technically, yes. And you've known I'm a fake nurse for weeks, but didn't care. Correct. And you're in love with me. Very much so. Cassidy shook her head. This is insane. Completely insane, Victor agreed. So, what do you say? Will you stay? For real this time, no more pretending. Cassidy thought about her tiny apartment, her failed acting career, her empty bank account. Then she thought about Victor, about the way he looked at her, about his men who called her Signora with respect, about this strange, dangerous, wonderful life. On one condition, she said. Anything. I take actual medical classes, real ones, so next time someone gets hurt, I actually know what I'm doing. Victor grinned. Deal, I'll pay for the best medical school in the country. And I keep acting. Community theater, small roles, I need that outlet. I'll build you a theater if you want. That's excessive. I'm an excessive person, Victor said. You'll get used to it. Cassidy kissed him again. I love you, you ridiculous criminal. I love you too, my fake nurse. The next morning, Cassidy woke up in Victor's bed. He was still sleeping beside her, his arm around her waist. Sunlight streamed through the windows. She could hear birds outside, men talking quietly downstairs, the normal sounds of the mansion waking up. Her phone buzzed, a text from her old casting director. Heard you left the show. Sorry about that. Let me know if you need help finding new work. Cassidy looked at Victor, at this beautiful, dangerous man who loved her, at the life she was choosing. Then she texted back. Thanks, but I found something better. She deleted the message thread and put her phone away. That life was over. This new life, strange and terrifying and wonderful, was just beginning. Victor stirred beside her, opened his eyes, smiled. Good morning, Signora, he said. Good morning, husband, Cassidy replied. It felt right, all of it. The mansion, the Mafia, the fake medical degree that was about to become real, the love that had grown from lies and luck and blood-soaked bandages. Dimitri knocked on the door. Boss, there's a situation that needs your attention. Give me 10 minutes, Victor called. He turned back to Cassidy. Welcome to your new life. It's going to be complicated. Good, Cassidy said. I was getting bored of simple. They got up, got dressed, walked downstairs together. The men in the hallway bowed as they passed, called out greetings, smiled at Cassidy like she was one of them now. In the study, there was a problem with a shipment, a territorial dispute with another family, a million things that needed Victor's attention. But he kept Cassidy beside him, held her hand while he made decisions, asked her opinion like it mattered. And when someone questioned why she was there, Victor simply said, "She's my wife. She stays." No one argued with the boss. That afternoon, Cassidy started looking at medical programs, real ones. Victor pulled strings and made calls, and within a week, she was enrolled in an accelerated nursing program. She would study, take tests, earn her degree properly. But she also auditioned for a local theater production, got a small part, started rehearsing. Victor came to every rehearsal, sitting in the back row, watching her perform. You're good, he said after one practice. Really good. Why did you give it up? I didn't give it up, Cassidy said. I just found something else to do with my life, but acting is still part of who I am. Then keep doing it, Victor said. Be both things. My brilliant wife who saves lives and performs on stage. Why choose? And so she did. 6 months later, Cassidy was stitching up a cut on Alexei's shoulder when he asked, Signora, did you ever regret it, staying here? Cassidy thought about that night, the bleeding stranger, the fake hospital, the choice that had changed everything. No, she said, not for a second. Even though you were afraid. Especially because I was afraid, Cassidy said. Being afraid and doing it anyway, that's what makes it worth it. She finished the stitches, bandaged Alexei's shoulder. He thanked her and left. Victor appeared in the doorway, ready for dinner. Almost, Cassidy said. I need to finish my homework first. She had an exam tomorrow, real medical knowledge, real skills. She was going to earn her degree legitimately, even if she'd already been practicing for months. Victor sat beside her while she studied, read through her notes. quizzed her on terminology. When she got frustrated, he kissed her forehead and told her she was brilliant. "You know," Cassidy said, "most wives don't have to study emergency medicine. Most wives don't marry mafia bosses after accidentally signing their shirts," Victor pointed out. Fair point. They had dinner, watched a movie, went to bed in each other's arms. It was domestic and normal and perfect. The life Cassidy had imagined for herself, the famous actress with awards and red carpets, had disappeared. But this life, the one she'd stumbled into through panic and lies and pure dumb luck, was so much better. She was needed, she was loved, she was home. And if that home happened to be a mansion full of criminals, surrounded by armed guards, with a husband who occasionally had to handle business in ways Cassidy didn't ask about, well, nobody's life was perfect. But it was hers, and she wouldn't trade it for anything. Victor pulled her closer in his sleep. Cassidy smiled and closed her eyes. She'd come a long way from that fake hospital set. From the actress who couldn't get a job to the woman who'd saved a mafia boss with nothing but acting skills and Google. From lying about being a nurse to actually becoming one. Some people found their calling. Cassidy had tripped over hers in the dark, covered in blood, terrified and clueless. But she'd found it, and she'd found love, and she'd found herself. That was enough. That was everything. Tomorrow she'd take her exam. Tomorrow she'd practice her lines for the play. Tomorrow she'd bandage wounds and make Victor laugh and live this strange, beautiful life she'd created. But tonight, she was just a woman in love, safe in the arms of the dangerous man who saw past her lies to the truth underneath. Cassidy Brooks, the fake nurse who became real, the actress who found her greatest role, the woman who signed a mafia boss's shirt and accidentally changed her entire life. She had no regrets. Not a single one. Thanks for watching this wild journey of accidental love and dangerous deceptions. Now tell me, could you keep up a fake identity while falling for someone who could destroy you? And here's the real question. Would you have signed that shirt? Drop your answer and your location in the comments below. Subscribe for more stories that'll keep you hooked.